Yeah, let me start with a brief 101, as it were, on meditation, because I think it's relevant for many people who actually are meditators, perhaps. It might not still be very clear as to what the origins of meditation are, what are the processes, and so on. Not that we are going to go into PhD level theses today, but at least a basic introduction to what meditation is about. For most people, meditation is a simple form of relaxation, and some consider it, as I personally believe wrongly, that it is mindful, so sensory kind of focus is meditation. And for some, it is also about creating awareness. Of course, it does. But today we are going to explore a side of meditation, which perhaps many people are not aware of, which is about the fact that meditation is the fastest pathway to shift us from the individual level of consciousness, awareness, to what in Hinduism we call the collective consciousness, and which Jung describes as the collective unconscious, both of them meaning pretty much the same. And at the collective conscious level, we obviously connect with each other, and we can do many things which we may not be aware of, and that may still happen. I don't have the time today to go into it, but in the webinar classes that I'll be doing from April onwards, I would like to delve into this particular subject through the quantum science principle of what is called entanglement, where people get connected to each other, just like subatomic particles do, even when they are separated by huge distances. The same thing can happen in collective consciousness. And the Hindu-Buddhist pathways, the collective consciousness ultimately, which is called the Brahman in the Vedic terminology, and the Akashic consciousness in Buddhism, they both refer to the same thing. And today it's of particular relevance because one of the reasons we have convened this is for us to, in a sense, send our intent of love, compassion, healing, and every other positive intent that we can put together, and through the meditative process, send it into the collective consciousness so others may benefit from that, as well as ourselves. So in this context, meditation can be an extremely powerful healing process. It can be a process of spreading love, compassion, and several other such amazingly powerful, let's say, positive human tendencies and behaviors. Now, going into a little bit of detail before I launch into the meditation itself as a guided meditation, which might probably take about 15 to 20 minutes at the most. And I'll keep it extremely simple today, and I'll explain what the process is later. In English, the meditation, the word comes from the Latin word, which means to contemplate, or Old French, and so on. And it has a very similar meaning in Sanskrit. It comes from the combination of two words, dhi and jnana, which together means it's a pathway to wisdom, which is about contemplation. The oldest references to meditation are in the Vedas, which are probably about 4,000 plus years old. And probably one of the most powerful and most popularly used meditation aids is called the Gayatri Mantra, which is one of the very, very few, though it addresses a particular deity who's no longer relevant in the Hindu pantheon as we know today, called Savitur, is essentially a reflection of the creator of the universe. In fact, Swami Vivekananda is probably the best translation of the Gayatri Mantra, where he says that when we intone that mantra, which is about an invocation to this being, he says, is a creator who produced this universe, and we seek the blessings of this being to enlighten our minds. The Gayatri Mantra has been used for a very, very long period of time, and one of the pathways of meditating is to be able to focus our minds, to contemplate. It could be on an image, it could be on a mantra, it could be on a word, it could be on a thought, and eventually disengaging from that as well. In this sense, it became, in a sense, structured by the pathway of yoga, which was known long before a person called Patanjali actually codified yoga through almost about 200 verses or sutras, as they are called, defining various aspects of yoga. And the simple explanation for yoga, of which meditation is part, is about integrating the mind and the body with the energy that we are. It's strange that for those of us who have done some work on quantum science, is an absolute mirror of what Einstein came up with about 100 years ago, that energy equals matter. And this was something which has been said again and again in the Hindu scriptures for almost about 4,000 plus years, through the Vedas, through the Upanishads, and through yoga. And the concept of yoga itself, which is about integrating the mind, body, and the mind, energy, is defined as stilling the mind. The second verse of the Yoga Sutra essentially says that yoga is about stopping the movements of the mind. And it defines what are these movements and how do we stop them. And the process is about turning our mind inwards, moving it towards a vocation of the inner consciousness, the individual consciousness. And from there, through a process of, again, the integration of the mind, body, and energy into a collective consciousness. The Isavasya Upanishad, one of the oldest Upanishads known to humanity, says the ultimate purpose of this is to see ourselves in other people and others in us, so that we become one amongst the many, collectively together, wishing well for everyone else as we do for ourselves. And this can result in a process of healing, gratitude, compassion, and love, and so on, which is what we are really going to work towards today. I would also like to briefly take you through what yoga is about, so that you have an understanding of how meditation fits within yoga. The art and science of yoga, which Patanjali describes in about, I think now it's about 190 verses, if I'm not mistaken, something close, is through 8 parameters. And so this whole treatise of Patanjali is called Ashtanga Yoga, or the yoga of 8 limbs, of 8 parts. The first 4 of these parts are called the external yoga elements, and which are about the body and our behavior. The very first limb or part of yoga is called Yama, which is about the universal code of conduct, which is about non-violence, ahimsa, being truthful, called Satya, not coveting anybody else's belongings and so on, which is called Asteya, living simply, called Aparigraha, and finally, a word which is often miscommunicated as celibacy. It means brahmacharya in Sanskrit, which actually is seeking the path of the ultimate truth, which is about defining a pathway which, in mind and body, we are aligned together, moving towards the final truth. The second limb of yoga is called niyama, which is about our personal conducts, the daily behavior that we have in terms of keeping ourselves clean, in terms of thoughts that we have, the simplicity with which we live, the kind of stuff that we learn, and finally, the devoted passion with which we seek the ultimate truth, as it were. And one of the things to note in any of these, there is absolutely no mention of any god or a deity. It is totally non-denominational. Everything is about the inner energy. Everything is about the ultimate creator with no name whatsoever. So it is as best, as close as you can get to a formless kind of philosophy and religion, the oldest in the world. The third limb of yoga is called the asana, which is what almost most of us are familiar about. 90% of this world is only familiar with this particular aspect of yoga, which is about the physical postures. All that Patanjali says is the posture should be steady and comfortable, sukha and sthira. It should be relaxed. And the effort should happen by itself. And so it's not about pretzel poses, hot yoga and cold yoga and all kind of gymnastics. It's about as simply as you can probably position yourself in a way that allows for the alignment of the different limbs of the body, which enable the energy pathway to flow through in a comfortable fashion. That itself is a science by itself. The fourth limb is called pranayama, or the breath control. It is about controlling the incoming and outgoing breaths. And the breath here is treated as a part of the energy, probably the most powerful energy system within the body. These four are called, as I said, the external yoga principles or factors, which are about the mind, about the body and the behavior aspects. And the fifth one is a kind of a linking point between that and what is called the internal yoga, the three elements that come after that. We move from the body and behavior to something called pratyahara, which is about withdrawal of our senses. The senses are the gateways to the mind. And yoga clearly states that it is through the senses that we roam the world, we move away from the truth, we go into illusion. So the way to really integrate the mind and the body with the energy. The pratyahara is about the withdrawal of the senses. And from then we go on to three aspects of the yoga, which are called the internal yogas, which are called dharana, dhyana, and samadhi, the three put together called samyama. Dharana is about focusing our senses. Dhyana is about focusing our thoughts. And finally, samadhi is about letting go and staying disengaged with any objects and being just a witness or an observer. And this is what in Kocharya we often refer to as the mindless practice, the mindless meditative practice. So these put together, the final three coming together as one in terms of a meditation on the senses, the meditation of the thought, and thirdly, disengaging from the thoughts itself as samyama. This is what leads to the total integration of the mind, body, and the energy. So I would just like to, with this brief background, which has taken me about 15 odd minutes, to go into the meditative process. I just would like to explain. In the meantime, before I go into the actual meditation practice today, it is something that I would do over a period of time. Meditation is not about just the mind. It is about a totality of the body. And within the body, it depends on the posture. It depends upon the way that you hold your hands, what are called the mudras. It's about breathing. It's about also the way that if we use a mantra, for example, and if we are audible, the way we intone the mantra. And in the next session, I would like to take you through various ways of how the primal sound, the primal mantra of the Vedic religion called Om can be, in a sense, experienced to produce different effects in the body. And these are things which I have experimented with myself, and I would also invite all of you to experiment later with all these. The first thing that I would like to say is meditation doesn't mean the same thing to every one of us. The effect that I may have by doing a particular meditation may be completely different from the effect that you may have. And it also may be different today from what it would be tomorrow and the day after. So there is nothing predictable about what is going to happen, even if you do the same meditation every day. Please do not expect that if today I had a good experience or a not so good experience, tomorrow it's going to be the same way. It is what it is. And if whatever happens is what you work with. The simplest meditative practice that I recommend to people is to start with breathing. First of all, to breathe well, you need to be in a particular posture, which is about keeping your spine erect, staying with your back, neck, and the head in one line. So the spinal column is erect. So the energy pathway, which travels from the root of the spine, which is called the Muladhara, the root center, to the top of the spine, which is called the Sahasrara, the crown center, it's as straight as possible without any interferences. And then we would just focus on our breath, be aware of what's happening with our breath. And the simplest way possible is to have a cycle of breathing deeply and then holding that breath for a few seconds as long as we are comfortable, and then exhale and hold that exhale breath for a few seconds as long as we are comfortable, and repeat that cycle. By doing that over a period of time, maybe 10, 20 minutes, as long as you are comfortable, we will try and do it for about 7 to 10 minutes. And during that period, I'll take you through a simple visualization exercise as to how you can relate this breathing or the controlled breathing to movements of energy within your body. And then finally, to take you into a kind of a visualization, which is about expanding yourself in an energy form beyond your mind and body into a space outside as part of the larger universal energy, and to connect with the collective conscious outside. So it may seem like a lot, but it'll go seamlessly. So just follow the guided meditation that I'm about to take you through. So what I would invite you to do at this point in time, I need to keep my eyes open because otherwise probably I'll lose myself. But I will take you through this guided meditation, which I have done literally thousands of times before. I would like you all to sit in a very relaxed way with your feet firmly on the ground. And you can place your hands on your lap, on armrests of your chair, but try and keep your hands this way. This is called the Chin Mudra. The first two fingers coming together and the other three fingers extended. And you can keep it in whichever posture. As you are resting it, you can keep it horizontally, but just try to keep it this way. It's both a kinesthetic anchor for you to very quickly get into this meditative state in the future, but it also has another significance of being able to control your breath in certain ways, which we will talk about in the coming sessions. So please now sit with your feet firmly on the floor, with your spine erect, with the back, the neck, and the head in one line, with your shoulders relaxed, spread back, and with your eyes closed. Please close your eyes. With your eyes closed, with your feet firmly resting on the floor, with your hands resting comfortably by your side, on your lap, or on the armrest, with the first two fingers coming together and the other three extended. Please breathe deeply. Inhale deeply as you can from below your navel. And feel your stomach rising with the inhaled breath. When you have inhaled completely, just hold that inhaled breath for a few moments, for as long as you're comfortable. And exhale slowly, taking as much time as you can, gently, slowly, till the entire breath is let out. And hold the exhale breath within yourself for as long as you are comfortable. And then start the inhalation again. So inhale deeply. Hold the breath for as long as you can for a few seconds. Exhale completely. And hold the exhale breath for a few seconds. I would just let you do this for a few breath cycles, maybe 10, over the next about 3 to 4 minutes. And I shall stay in silence. So just continue inhaling deeply, holding your breath, exhaling deeply, and holding your breath. Just continue with the cycle. As you inhale, hold, exhale, and hold, you will find yourself going deeper and deeper into your inner awareness. You'll be relaxed. And even if you have thoughts, the thoughts will slow down. If any thoughts occur to you, perhaps because of something that is happening outside, or anything due to one of your senses, just let that thought pass through. Observe that thought as if you are just a witness. The way that you would watch the clouds in the sky and move away. Perhaps it might get replaced by another thought. Just witness. Let it move away. Do not follow the thought. Do not try to suppress the thought. Just allow it to flow through your mind, like the clouds flow through the sky. As you are breathing deeply, inhaling deeply, holding your breath for a few seconds, exhaling completely, holding your breath for a few seconds, with your feet firmly on the ground, with your arms resting lightly, with the first two fingers coming together, other three extended in the Gyan or the Chin Mudra, with your eyes closed. Let yourself go deeper and deeper into your inner consciousness. Breathe deeply. Inhale as deep as you can from below your navel, below your diaphragm. After filling your inner space, allowing your stomach to rise, hold that breath for a few seconds, for as long as you are comfortable. Now exhale completely. And then hold the exhale breath for a few seconds. Allow your mind to just focus on the breath. The breath is your mantra. The breath is your energy. As long as you focus on your breath, you wouldn't have a need to think or hold any space for your thoughts. The breath itself will replace the need for the thought. As you now inhale deeply, imagine, visualize that you are breathing in the energy of the universe into yourself as you breathe deeply from beneath the diaphragm, the navel. Visualize that you are filling up that space with the universal energy, the energy outside you. And as you hold the breath, allow that energy to spread to every part of your body, from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, your fingers, every cell, every particle in your body. And as you exhale, imagine that you're now moving out of the mind and body boundary as energy, emerging into the external energy of the universe. The completion of the exhalation, as you hold your breath, feel that you are one with energy, that you're no longer mind and body. You no longer have matter. You are just the energy, one with the universal energy. All your matter is just energy. In your own rhythm, as you inhale deeply as you can, inhale the energy of this universe. Allow it to refresh you, regenerate you, re-energize you. And as you hold your breath, let it spread to every cell of your body and mind. Refresh them, energize them. And as you exhale, allow this energy to move out of the boundaries of the mind and body matter into the space of energy outside. At the end of the exhalation, as you hold your breath, become one with energy. You are the energy. You are the creative energy. You have the energy to do anything that you wish. The past, the present, and the future. Just continue your inhalation and exhalation with a holding in between. Inhaling the energy of the universe. Holding it to spread to every part of your body. Exhaling into the energy outside. And as you hold the exhale breath, merge with the energy outside. You are now the energy. You are part of the universal energy. You are part of the hologram that is the universal energy. You are the same energy as the creation of this universe. As you stay in this space of energy, as you continue your breathing in the background, visualize yourself as a ball of energy of any color that you choose, bright, resplendent, vibrant, resonant, powerful, energetic. And as you continue your breathing, let this ball of energy expand. Visualize yourself as this ball of energy expanding beyond your body mind to envelop the room that you are sitting in. Let it expand further to envelop the apartment or the house that you are sitting in. Brilliant, shining, resonant, healing, refreshing, compassionate energy. As you continue breathing in and out and holding, allow it to expand further and further. Let it envelop the entire street that you live in. Expand to envelop the block that you live in. Keep expanding. Cover the city that you are living in. Expand to cover the state that you are in. Expand to cover the country you are in. The continent you are in. And now the entire globe. You are the energy which now houses the entire earth within you. You are the collective consciousness. And your collective consciousness is global. In this space of the energy of the collective consciousness, express your intent to heal everybody with deep love, compassion, and gratitude. Authentically, powerfully, selflessly. May I now, in my individual consciousness, in the form of this collective energy consciousness, this beautiful ball of energy that has the whole world within it, let it benefit from my intent. The intent to heal, intent to make everybody well, intent to support and nurture, to grow with my deepest love, compassion, and gratitude for this energy of the universe. Stay in this beautiful space of deep compassion and gratitude. Wishing well, seeing everybody in this globe within you, seeing yourself within everyone, every creature, animate and inanimate. Feel the energy surging within you, the power. You have the power to heal. You have the power to create. You have the power to nurture, you have the power to love. Stay powerfully in this space for at least a minute more. Relaxed, breathing. The complete conviction that you are the collective consciousness, expanding from your individual consciousness with deep gratitude and compassion, healing this entire world. Let there be peace, happiness, and fulfillment. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Slowly, gently, open your eyes and express your gratitude to the energy of the universe in whichever way you choose. Thank you.